All right, 7th graders, on this Tuesday we're going to look at absolute value, which is how far are you from 0, which really means how far a number is from 0, because it's not always you that we're talking about, but how far is a number from 0. So we're going to real quickly look at a number line. So our focus for absolute value is always going to be on this 0. So let's say if I was at number 3, how far am I from 0? Well, if I jump 1, 2, 3, I am 3 from 0. And if I look at this negative 3, which I forgot my negative sign, sorry. If I look at this negative 3 and I go back to my 0, how far am I from negative 3? 1, 2, 3. I still jump 3 times. So when we're looking at absolute value, we're not looking at positive and negative. We're looking at how far you are from 0 or how far a number is from 0. So basically, it's always going to be positive because it doesn't matter if I'm sitting at 2. That's 1, 2 jumps. So I am 2 from 0. So my absolute value is 2. If I was at negative 1, I only have to jump 1. So my absolute value is 1. I'm going to show y'all how bad I can draw. Miss Alice would not be impressed. Okay. Let's say we all jump in our little car here and we drive to Pink Hill and we go to Andy's to eat, or we go to Two Dogs, or we go to R-Mart, or whatever's in Pink Hill that we want to eat, and we drive 4 miles. Okay, when we drive that 4 miles, we're going to use our odometer, which is this little thing in the car that tells us how far we've gone. It's going to go up 4 miles as we go to Pink Hill. Now, when we come back to B.F. Grady, it is still another 4 miles. So that odometer is still going to go up another 4 miles when we come back. So it doesn't matter if we're coming or if we're going, we still went 4 miles there and we came 4 miles back. So you think about the gas that you use to get from B.F. Grady to Pink Hill, that 4 miles. When you come back to B.F. Grady, that gas is not going to jump back in your car. I mean, you burned it once and then you burned it again. You're not going to get it back. So how far are you from 0? This absolute value would be 4, and this absolute value would also be 4. Now, the way we note absolute value is kind of like with field goals. Like a referee, if you get a touchdown, and let's say a touchdown is 6. So the absolute value of 6 is 6. Or if I said the absolute value of negative 6. Remember, if it's 6 or negative 6, it doesn't matter how far is it from 0. It's still 6 from 0. If I did the absolute value of 18, the absolute value of 18 is 18 because it's 18 from 0. Just like if I had a negative 18, how far am I from 0? Doesn't matter if I'm going left or right, up or down, I'm still 18 from 0. So my absolute value is 18. So absolute value is going to always be positive. Now the way we're going to put that in problems today is this says the absolute value of negative 12 plus the absolute value of 45. So the absolute value of negative 12 is 12, plus the absolute value of 45 is 45. Remember, it's not opposite, it's absolute value. How far is it from 0? So then when we add these two numbers together, we're going to get 57. Let's do another add one. This says 25, absolute value, plus absolute value of negative 77. So negative 77, if it's absolute value, it's still going to be positive. So we add these two numbers and we're going to get 102. Now this says, let's come down here and do number 10. Absolute value of negative 15 is 15. So 15 times absolute value of 2 is 2. So 15 times 2 is 30. Absolute value, again, we're going to stick with multiplication one more time. 6, absolute value of negative 6 is 6, times the absolute value of negative 3. Remember, absolute value is always positive, so 6 times 3 is 18. Let's do some subtraction. We maybe should have done subtraction before we did multiplication, but that'll be all right. So absolute value of negative 26. Absolute value is always positive, so we got 26. Bring down that subtraction sign. Absolute value of negative 11. Absolute value is always positive. So when we subtract these two numbers, we're going to get 15. So absolute value of negative 26 minus the absolute value of negative 11 is going to give us 15. Now if we come up here, we have a division, same concept, 46, and then we bring down the division sign. Absolute value is always positive, so this absolute value is going to be 2. So when we divide 46 divided by 2, we get 23. So remember, absolute value, how far you are from 0, is always positive. Let's try a few problems and see how you do.